Hey guys, we're due to start at 7, but I always like starting the stream a little bit earlier just to make sure that the internet's working. It's better to be safe than sorry. Who's this? Yeah, it's better to be safe than sorry. So, yeah, and I'm just getting myself together. I've made some notes here. I just ordered some food. So, hold on a sec. So yeah, we'll start at 7. But if anyone's on now, you can introduce yourself and ask me any questions. Hopefully the chat's working. Let me just make sure. It's been all go today. It's been a good day today, considering the kind of difficult, depressing time that we're all going through. Just I'm trying to get these live stream better. Just testing out my new laptop. Yeah, everyone can see me. I just want to make sure the chat's working. So if one of you could just comment in the chat, I've commented, just so I know it's working, so I can see your questions. Then we'll get into today's live stream, which is all about motivation, how to get motivated in 2021. I think this is something that everyone's struggling with at the moment, and something that people could really, really benefit from. So I'm going to share my experience and the tools that I use to get motivated to take action. It's a really important thing in life. Even if you didn't want to be, you don't necessarily want to be a global success or anything like that. You might not want to do that, but just general motivation, just to get out of bed. Sometimes it's hard to get out of bed, when you're feeling down and depressed. It's really difficult to get out of bed, shower, get your clothes on, get out, go to the shops. I go for it sometimes. That can be just as hard as motivating yourself to do bigger things like go to the gym or speak to people. So motivation really does affect us in either in a positive or negative way in our life, and we all struggle at times with motivation, which is why you need positive people. You need live streams like this that can give you some support in motivation. I always believe a positive conversation can make a big difference in everyone's lives. I don't know if you guys are commenting on the chat. Let me just check something, right? That's my biggest anxiety when I do this, that people are writing in and I can't see it, because it does this sometimes on YouTube. I knew it was going to do this. I knew it was doing this. YouTube does this. Greetings from Brooklyn. What's up, Brooklyn? What's up, Johnny? How you doing, mate? Let me just try and work this out, get this. Oh, why does it do this? Well, I can't see your questions in the chat box. I have to click an extra button, which is a bit of a pain. Why doesn't it just work normally? Why has it done that? This is why I always check, you see. That's why it's worth. Okay, let's I'm just sharing this you know what, I'm not going to get stressed out. Getting stressed out doesn't help anything. I take my time and relax. Okay. We should have a good time this evening. Good little bit of banter, good conversation. Facebook, we've got Facebook here. I'm just sharing the stream. Yeah, please do like and share and subscribe to the channel and the streams. I don't know why it's not coming up on the chat, man. This is really... Try this. Oh, this works a bit better now. I can see it. I've basically had to click on a different option to get up the chat, and it's making it a bit awkward. It's covering half of the screen. That's the problem I'm having at the moment. That's why I'm glad that I started this 10 minutes before the time, because I knew that this might happen. This is let us know. Happy New Year, by the way, everyone. Let us know where you're coming from. We've got Brooklyn in the house. I don't know where you're from. Let me know where you guys are coming from, and girls. Yeah, as I said on my other live stream, it takes a couple of minutes for the streams to warm up. Happy New Year, everyone. Oh, good to see. Great, great. Okay, so we've got the live stream working. I've got the chat working. Good to see you, Romeo. Great to see you, Jeremy. By the way, you guys, right? I'm going to start doing live streams every Saturday, right? Make a note in your calendar. Every Saturday in the evening until I find a wife and get married. I'm going to do a stream. Saturday, for some reason, is the best day. I get the most people on. It's the best energy. I don't know why Saturdays is the best day, but it is. And usually Saturday evenings, I'm usually at home because I watch the boxing in the night. I'm watching the boxing tonight. So by the time evening comes, I'm in a good mood and stuff. So well, it's great to see you back, Gam. Happy New Year, mate. Back Gam. Really want to say thanks for the content this year. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I'm really pleased that we got to meet and spend some some good time together. It's really nice to get to know someone in person and build a friendship. So I appreciate you, man. And I always think of you when I think of Portsmouth and stuff. Scott Smith, Happy New Year, mate. Thanks for coming to stream. John Jones, I really appreciate your support, my friend, on the videos, and I appreciate that you go out of your way to write long texts and stuff, texts. So I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you, and I think we're going to have a good time today. And what I'm starting to realize on these streams, I used to think that I had to come up with the most amazing teachings and stuff, but I'm starting to realize I think what gives people the most value is just being social. It's just having a conversation with everyone. I think people appreciate that, and obviously I'm always going to throw a couple of teaching tools in and stuff like that that's going to help people, because I really do believe teachers are born, not made. Like they say in boxing, punchers are born, not made. And I don't mean that, it doesn't mean you can't learn to teach. Anyone can learn to teach, but I think some people are born to teach, and I'm not being big-headed. I think that's the case with me. I was born to teach. I was born to help other people, whether I like it or not. When I was young at school, I got bullied for a bit. The other kids got bullied, but when I started to stand up for myself, I couldn't help it, man. It was just part of my personality. I would stick up for the other kids, So teaching is something that I naturally do it when I'm having conversations with people. I don't force it on people, but it just comes out because I can't help it. So that's kind of my passion, is talking, teaching people, and learning as well, because I'm a student. I love learning. I love learning from teachers. I don't have a big ego where I think I know everything, and I don't like people telling me stuff. No, I like learning. I've had a lot of teachers in my life. None of us know everything in life, but that's me. So today we're going to talk on a lot of things. I've made some notes here, right? This isn't going to take me long to share this with you guys. This is the teaching. Then I'll get into the questions, and when we can talk about whatever we want to talk about. So, motivation, right? Let me just read this. I wrote this. Yeah, man. When the student's ready, the teacher will appear. Speaking of teachers, by the way, who's a fan of Cobra Kai? I've just watched the whole of season 3 yesterday. I absolutely loved the Karate Kid. I love all the lessons and the teachings in it. It's a brilliant show. It's a bit cheesy, but I love it. So let us know if you watch Cobra Kai. Yeah, Happy New Year to everyone. I hope it's been it's been a tough year, isn't it, for everyone? Oh, what are we doing here? Right, got to get this chat up again. Hold on a sec. This is the problem. Right. I'm currently on episode 2 of season 3. Yeah, it's really good, man. I won't spoil it. I'm not going to say nothing because that's the worst thing when people spoil it. But I think it was brilliant. I enjoyed all of it. I think season 3 was brilliant. I watched it all yesterday. It goes really quick. Okay, right. This is a little thing I've written today, which is true. So it can be really hard to motivate yourself when you know to do things when you feel depressed or anxious or fearful or demotivated, especially during a worldwide pandemic, which does create a lot of fear and anxiety amongst people. We all need support in our lives, especially during periods where we're going through a difficult time. This is why it's very important to surround amongst good, positive, kind people that can help you to live a better life. Today, I'm going to teach you how to get super motivated to take action in 2021. Thank you for all your support. I really appreciate it. And please be sure to like, share this video and subscribe to the channel if you get a lot out of my videos and you enjoy it. No, I haven't bought any Bitcoin. I'm not really into that. I mean, I find it fascinating, but I'm not someone who gambles or really buy shares in that. But nothing against it. I've got friends who do it, and it's something that I might be interested in the future. I know a little bit about it, but yeah. So okay, right. So I get questions all the time from people asking me how to get motivated, how to get motivated to speak to women, how to get motivated to face the fear of social anxiety, speak to people, how to get motivated to start a YouTube channel, how to get motivated to quit porn, how to get motivated to lose weight, how to get motivated to go to the gym, how to get the motivation to start your own business, all these different questions. And in my honest opinion, I know there's a lot of stuff online. Again, I never really agree with mainstream advice. When everyone's giving the same advice, I usually find it to not always be not work. You know, a lot of people just say stuff to sell products, make money, and to come up with stuff. And I've never done that. You know, if I share something, it's because it works. I've tried it, I've lived it, and it works for other people. So for me, the best motivation comes from passion. If you're not passionate about something, you're not going to be motivated to do it. And I know that sounds like stating the obvious. And what I mean by that is if someone is not motivated enough to go to the gym, they're not going to do it. Like, you can't use little tricks. It's not going to change. It's not going to get you to do it. So the best way to get motivated in 2021 to take action is you have to find what it is you're passionate about. And that could be different for everyone. Because when you're passionate about something, when you're passionate and you're so obsessed and excited to achieve something or to do it, that gives you motivation. So motivation comes from passion. Motivation comes from being driven. You know, all these things come from, you could say passion is love. So if you haven't got the love to do something, you're not going to do it, and you're not going to do it very well. So the question is, you know, what is your passion? When I first started teaching many years ago, I was so passionate about psychology, about confidence, about dating, about relationships, about conquering fear, about helping people, about inspiring people, about speaking, you know, public speaking. I was so passionate about these things that all the fears I had, all of the procrastination, all the insecurities I had, all you know, the lack of motivation I had for about 10 years of my life, it just overtook it, you know, and then I started to take a lot of action. So you need to identify what it is that you're passionate about, and we can go through that in a second. So, you know, you need a goal, you need a vision, and you need a passion, and they're all kind of the same thing. Passion equals motivation. When you're passionate and you do something, the motivation gives you the courage. So it's like a relationship. Does that make sense, guys? I think a lot of people get stuck in not being happy in life, not knowing what they want to do, or not being sure about what they want to do, and then questioning themselves and asking themselves, why am I not motivated? Why am I struggling with motivation? Why are other people, succeeding and being motivated and I'm not? And I think it's because they haven't identified what it is that they want to do in their life, and what drives them, regardless of what other people think, because there's always going to be a group of people that are going to judge you and going to think what you're doing is stupid. There's a lot of people that would think what I'm doing now is stupid. They wouldn't understand it. They'd think, why is he doing a live stream? Why is he saying all this stuff? Why does he make YouTube videos? Because I'm passionate about it. I love it. I don't care what they think. And for the people that love what I do, you're on the stream today. And it's the same for boxers. A lot of people think, some people don't like boxing. They think it's stupid, it's unintelligent. I understand that. But you try telling a boxer that, they don't agree on that. They love it. It's their life. They dedicate their life to it. They risk their life. If you're going to risk your life, if you could die doing something, it must be something that you love. It must be something that makes you feel good. So that's the kind of answer to this question. And I didn't realize I had the answer for a long time, because these are things that they didn't come natural to me, but I just did them for many years. And that's the great thing about when people ask you a question, it makes you stop and think, how does that work? How do I do that? What is the answer? So I had to think about it and go over my life and look at, not to be arrogant, how was it that I'm a normal person, but I motivated thousands of men all around the world? And the reason why I motivated them was because I was able to help them to tap into what it was that they loved in their life, and so forth. So that's the real psychology of motivation. If you want to get into the next bit, of course, you've got to take a lot of practical action. You can't just be at home and go, well, I love filmmaking, I'm passionate about it, but then you don't do it. You have to go out and make films and do it for real. And that's where the taken action comes in. And sometimes you have to force yourself to do things when you don't feel like it. That is part of getting motivated. And that's really important. So I'll stop for a second. I'll answer some questions. Yeah, I've seen The Shawshank Redemption. It's a brilliant film. I've seen it many times. Great film. Do I think NoFap is a big placebo or the real deal? I think it's a bit of both. I think it's the placebo, and it's I think it's, but yeah, I think it's placebo, but that placebo works. Well, that's it, Sebastian. It's it's really figuring out what your passion is. And look, everyone goes through a stage. Well, maybe not everyone, but I did, where they feel like you're feeling, Sebastian. They don't really have a passion. They don't know what motivates them. So sometimes you have to sit down and think. And sometimes it just comes to you when you're not expecting it, or maybe when you watch somebody else. But yeah. Yeah, you guys know each other, right? Batgam and Jeremy Carl. You've been on my older streams. Well, how do I control my urge to cheat? Well, I'm not in a relationship at the moment, but I, that's a good question. That's a really good question. That's kind of thrown me off. Well, I'm usually quite good at not cheating. I don't really like to cheat on someone in a relationship, or if I give someone my word, I don't think that's something that I've had a problem with per se. But that's a good question. I don't have the answer to that question right now, Scott. I've got to think of that a little bit longer. But that's a good question, and it's good that sometimes I won't have all the answers to your questions, and I won't answer a question if I don't really have the answer. Some questions, that question, I have to think about that. But I have got the answer to the question today, which is motivation. So getting a pen and a pad of paper for 2021 and doing some writing would be a great start to finding motivation. Yeah, it's human nature. I mean, it's human nature to get urges to cheat. I mean, not that it's something that I encourage people to do, and I wouldn't like to do that because we wouldn't like someone to do that to us. But I really do appreciate your courage and your honesty, and the fact that you wanna not cheat is a good start. You know, it's a good start. But maybe you have to go over your values, and I don't know, the person that you're with, that you love, your relationship, you have to really think about what that means, and stuff like that. So I think that's going to come over time, and making the right choices. It's a habit that you've got to build. These things are not overnight fixes. Yeah, you could ask that. You could ask, why do you have the urge? You could ask that question. Is it because of fear? I'm not saying that, but is it fear of someone leaving you or someone cheating on you? I think a lot of the times the psychology of cheating, I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty certain it comes from the fear of someone hurting you or leaving you. But it doesn't mean that's going to be 100%. Johnny, have you ever been in a big name boxing event? Um, have I ever been to a big name? Yeah, I have. I have. I've been to Tyson Fury in when he wasn't as famous as he is now. So I watched Tyson Fury live. I can't remember the guy that he fought, but I've been there. When I watched a British fighter, Ashley Theophane, win the British title. Tyson Fury was on the bill, and it was amazing to see him. So I've seen Fury. Who else have I seen? I've been to quite a few boxing events. Um, is money motivation a bad thing, Johnny? Not necessarily, no. Not necessarily, no. It's not. Could you talk about Christianity, please, Johnny? It's not quite taboo for some people, but honestly, it's a massive thing that we're missing for young people. No purpose in following the word of God. Well, you know, I mean, I don't feel like I'm really qualified to speak on Christianity, even though I am a Christian by faith, and I don't feel that's my calling in life to speak on Christianity, but I don't have a problem speaking about it. I mean, I'm a Christian. I try and follow the rules. I'm not a perfect Christian, so maybe I wouldn't be the best person. But then again, who is the best person? No one's perfect. I take it you're a Christian. My values are Christian. I'm sure that comes across for those of you that know me and the work I do. But yeah, I do feel like today that the Christian values, not just in England, especially in America, just seem like they've been lost with some of the things that are taking place. I think we spoke about this yesterday, Grant. It's but yeah, I think I don't know, man. It's a tricky one. It's a sensitive subject because I don't want to exclude other people in this live stream who might be by a different faith. I respect people that are of different faiths, or I respect people that don't believe in God. But yeah, I really don't feel that I'm qualified to speak on Christianity. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know the Bible in and out. I know the main bits. I've read some of it. I know the values of a Christian life. I try and live it as best I can. But yeah, that's about as much as I could say on it. I can say this. I mean, I think people. I don't know, man. There's definitely a lack of kindness amongst people today. But yeah, that's a big one. Hi, Johnny. I've watched some of your videos that have helped me. Thank you. Have a great 2021 from Brazil. I really appreciate that, mate. Thanks a lot. Greetings to Brazil. I think we need to collectively focus on what we really want as men in 2021. The reason we're all down is because of the pandemic, because we're waiting for it to change and we're not in control of it. Brilliantly said. Really well said. It's great. I agree on that. That's really helpful. It's true. It's totally true. That's like it's not a competition here, but that's the truest thing I've heard in the chat today. You've said it exactly. You summed up how I feel, how we're all feeling, and I agree with you. We do need to focus on the positive, and that's why doing this live stream today, just having a conversation with everyone and having some just having a, what we always do, positive chat, it can make a big difference. The small things make a big difference. That's why I'm a huge believer in small things making a big difference, because some people might think, oh, it's just a live stream. Oh yeah, I've heard it all before. Or there's thousands of live streams that go on YouTube, but I don't see it like that. I see this as a real it really is hard to put it into words, but it really does help people. I believe a lot of people, I hope it isn't the case, but some people might be going through really bad depression in this live stream, right? And coming on today and being able to speak openly as we possibly can, and get some support can help someone to change their life, or stop someone from taking their own life, because it does go on. Yeah, thanks for your videos, helped me a lot in the past, honestly. You're welcome, Salvatore, I really appreciate you. I just thought perhaps we should aim higher of our values for ourselves. Yeah, 100%. I think there's two great things that you can do throughout the lockdown. You can focus on being grateful every day, which I know a lot of you are, and you can also focus on trying to make a difference to other people. And the quickest way you can do that is just by going out of your way to be kind to other people. I know it's not always easy, because there's some nasty people out there in the world, and there's some people that are, and they're not in how can I say it? They're not that kind, right? Not to be too harsh and judge. So it does make a difference, if, just the way that you are throughout the day with people and stuff. But yeah, we're going to make this a regular thing, guys. So make sure that you tune in on Saturdays. I'm going to keep these going for as long as I need to, and I enjoy these. So yeah, with motivation, I want to explain this as well, right? And I'm not going to generalize. This is for men and women people, right? You're not going to put yourself through something difficult, right? Unless you have to go through it, which at the moment we all have to go through this pandemic. We don't have a choice, right? But generally speaking, when we're speaking about motivation to become successful, or to get a girlfriend, or to be a better person, or to quit porn, or to overcome your fears, or to start a business, or to make more money, or to improve your relationship with your parents, or to travel, or to start your own YouTube channel, or to get into shape. Well, when it comes to these things, you need to you need to see a positive incentive. And what I mean by that is, you're not going to make yourself go through something that's very uncomfortable emotionally if you're not going to gain something that's really pleasurable out of it. If that makes sense, right? I know I'm talking sense. I'm just trying to explain it so you guys can understand it and apply it in your life. So I'll give you an example if this can help. Obviously, many years ago, because I suffered with really bad social anxiety and depression, I was petrified of, doing public talks, speaking in front of a group of people. It was one of my worst fears. But because I was motivated to do it, and when I did do the first one, it was very uncomfortable for me. I was very uncomfortable at the talk. It was my first time. But because I got a lot out of it, because I felt so good after, I felt proud of myself. A lot of people liked the talk. It changed my life. So because I gained something positive out of going through something that was very difficult and scary for me and very uncomfortable, and I wasn't confident at the start, it made me want to go for it again. And then I gave, hundreds of talks, and I got better and better over time. So that's my encouragement for people to take action. When you know that you're going to gain confidence, in some cases, you're going to earn more money. In some cases, you're going to make more friends. You're going to be a success, or you're going to be able to help other people, or you're just going to feel better. You're in a healthy way. Your ego is going to be validated, and there's a healthy element to building up a healthy ego, right? Without it being unhealthy. When you understand this, you're going to go and take the action. If that makes sense. It does make sense to me, but hopefully you guys get it. What's up, Shane? Happy New Year. What to do when people don't want you to succeed in life? Well, that can give you motivation in itself. Everyone's gonna have people in their life that don't want them to succeed. I had it when I started out, and I am. My friend's um, calling me. I'm gonna have to call him back, you see, because I'm doing the stream. So I'm really looking forward to it. So the best advice is to do it anyway. Is to ignore them. You have to understand this, Shane. Everyone goes through it, so it's not personal just with you. Everyone's got someone in their life who doesn't want them to succeed. Who wants to keep them down. For me, that was a motivation. Everyone's got it, and so sometimes we have it from the past in our own head, bullies at school. Other times it's people in our life. You've got to do it anyway. You got to not let them keep you down, and that comes with all of this. All this that comes with life. Can porn itself give on social anxieties? I've never had it watching porn. That's a good question. That's a good question. I've thought about that. Now, I'm willing to be wrong, right? I personally don't think, watching porn is going to give a person social anxiety. But what I do understand is if someone watches social anxiety and they don't go out and socialize with people enough, then it could give them social anxiety. Or if someone watches pornography and it makes them feel ashamed, then that shame that you feel because you've watched pornography, that might give you some anxiety around people. So I know I've kind of answered the question yes and no. So I think it's a bit of yes and no, but I don't think there's any scientific research to support that just by going on and watching porn. And you guys know that I'm against porn. I make loads of videos about it. I think it's terrible, right? But I don't think watching a pornography video is going to all of a sudden give you social anxiety. I don't think that's going to be the case. Because if that was the case, every single person who watched porn would have major social anxiety. But it definitely is not going to. It's not going to help you. If you quit porn, then I believe you're going to have more social confidence. That's my opinion. But I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong, but that's my experience with it. But I see where you're coming from. I do see where you're I do see where you're coming from. Let's benefit from no fat. I think it's just psychological. I think it's just psychological. You feel good because you've been more disciplined. You've abstained from porn or masturbation. So I think the benefit was more psychological. But I can't give you like a specific benefit because I didn't really see like a major benefit. Like some guys will say online that when they quit porn or stop masturbating, all of a sudden they started getting attention from beautiful women. I didn't experience that, if I'm being honest, and not to be arrogant or anything. Um, I I built my confidence up and got attracted women before the whole nofap came about. Listen, man, it's not for me to judge you, man. That's your decision. If you made 300K in Bitcoin, then that's great, man. Happy for you. If you've got if that's what you've got, then I can't tell you if that's wrong. For me, that would be wrong. I think that wouldn't be great in my life. But I did that in my past, so I couldn't judge you for that. And you've got to make up your own mind at the end of the day as to whether you think that's right or wrong for you. So yeah. I mean, all this type of work is about changing the perception of self. John Daniel. Hold on, I'm just trying to figure out your question, John. I think you asked a question on my video before. I was going to get to it. When I started watching porn, I developed it. So what are you saying, John? Explain to me. Are you saying that you didn't have social anxiety before, you were confident growing up, and then when you started watching porn, you started to get social anxiety? If that's the case, then that would tell you, obviously, that might be true then. But from my experience, okay, I got it. Well, like I said, as far as I'm aware, I could be wrong, John, all of you. I don't know if there's any scientific research that says, watching pornography will immediately give you social anxiety over time. But like I said before, what tends to happen for a lot of men is when they watch porn and masturbate, they don't have the motivation to go out and get a girlfriend or speak to people as much. And it's actually the isolation that I think gives you social anxiety, and it's not being social that is what causes it. Well, as you said, actually, the real cause of it is trauma from childhood. So, but I'm not 100% that maybe it does cause it in some way, but it doesn't really make sense. It's kind of like saying, does watching a horror movie give you social anxiety? And probably not. It might scare the shit out of you, and obviously, that's my opinion on it. But it's better not to watch these things. Look, this is my opinion. If you're doing something in your life and it's having a negative effect, then common sense is that you want to stop it, right? And if it's immoral or it's going against your values, then it's not going to make you feel